What is up, YouTube? It's VyPr Sports here, and today I'm going to be going through part 3 of my 2019 NFL mock draft. If you haven't seen parts 1 or 2, the links for those videos will be down in the description. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start this video off with the 17th pick in the 2019 NFL draft, which is held by the New York Giants as a part of the Odell Beckham Jr. trade. And with this pick, I predict the Giants will select Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle out of Clemson. The Giants need a lot of help defensively. They've lost a lot of key players, and although they did gain Jabril Peppers from the Odell trade, that's not really too much. After trading away Damon Harrison to the Detroit Lions, they have an immediate need on their defensive line, and Christian Wilkins would be a great selection here. With the 18th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, I'm predicting the Minnesota Vikings to select Chris Lindstrom, guard out of Boston College. The Vikings need a lot of offensive line help. It was their huge weakness this past season and a major reason why they weren't able to be as successful as they potentially could have been. While there are better offensive linemen still available, like Jonah Williams or Garrett Bradbury, I don't see any of them fitting in with the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings really need guards primarily, and although some of these players could hypothetically be switched to guard, I'm not a big fan of doing that at all. Pat Elflein is a pretty good center, and although Garrett Bradbury might be a better player there, Elflein hasn't played guard in a few years, so I don't see why they would attempt to make a risk by moving him there. Lindstrom, however, is a great guard and could be a very solid part of the Vikings' offensive line. As of right now, he's projected to be going late first round, early second round, but I think because of the Vikings' immediate need at guard, he would be selected with the 18th pick. With the 19th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, I'm predicting the Tennessee Titans to select Clelin Ferrell, defensive end out of Clemson. The Titans have an immediate need at an edge rusher or defensive end as well, and Ferrell would be great for this position. He's an amazing talent has a lot of potential in this league. After Brian Orakpo retired, this is an immediate position that the Titans should try to fill, and probably the biggest on their defense. They have some pretty good players on their defense, such as Jarrell Casey, Wesley Woodyard, and Kevin Byard. Let's add another great player to the Titans' defense in Clelin Ferrell. There's a lot the Pittsburgh Steelers could do with the 20th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. They could select a receiver to replace Antonio Brown, a potential running back to go alongside James Conner. They could upgrade their secondary, which hasn't really been that great. Or they could do what I think they're going to do and select linebacker Devin Bush out of Michigan. They have an immediate need at linebacker. Ryan Shazier, as miraculous as his recovery has been so far, will likely never play again. And filling that hole now as opposed to later when you have a great talent still on the board is something that I think the Steelers should definitely take advantage of. Their defense hasn't really been great the past few years, and Devin Bush could potentially boost them to be better. With a talent this great still on the board at 20, they should definitely take it, and it would be a steal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. With the 21st pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks will select Noah Fant, tight end out of Iowa. While the immediate need for the Seahawks is safety, I don't think there are really any safeties in this draft who I would consider taking with the 21st pick. Noah Fant, however, would be another great weapon to add to Russell Wilson and the Seahawks offense. He's very fast, he has great hands for catching, and while he isn't as good of a run blocker as TJ Hawkinson, could still improve that, and overall he's pretty good at that. As a whole, I think tight end is a weakness for the Seattle Seahawks, especially losing Jimmy Graham last season to the Green Bay Packers. They need someone at that position, and someone like Noah Fant could be a great addition to their offense. They have Doug Baldwin and Tyler Lockett and Chris Carson at running back. Adding Noah Fant to their offense could be a great thing for Russell Wilson. With the 22nd pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens will select Hakeem Butler, wide receiver out of Iowa State. For this pick, it was really between N'Keal Harry and Hakeem Butler. Both are great wide receiver talents, but I chose Hakeem Butler here because of his height. He is 6'5" at wide receiver. That's amazing. He also has the speed to become a dominant wide receiver. While he isn't as polished as N'Keal Harry, he still has the potential to become a top wide receiver talent. And that is truly what the Baltimore Ravens need right now. They got Mark Ingram in free agency to boost their run game, and they have a potentially great quarterback in Lamar Jackson who clearly has a lot of mobility and potential to become a pretty good passer. Giving Lamar Jackson a number 1 wide receiver should be a priority for the Ravens in this draft, and that's why I have them selecting Hakeem Butler. The Houston Texans have the 23rd pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, and I have them selecting Jonah Williams, tackle out of Alabama. The Texans need to get better pass protection for Deshaun Watson. He was on the run a lot last season and got sacked very often. They really need to get a solid offensive line talent, and Jonah Williams out of Alabama would fit this need. And for the last pick in this video, the 24th pick, the Oakland Raiders will select Greedy Williams, cornerback out of LSU. After selecting a defensive lineman with the 4th overall pick, the Raiders still need some help on defense, primarily in their secondary, and Greedy Williams would be a great selection at cornerback. With the 24th pick, Greedy Williams is a pretty good value as well. He looks to be the top cornerback in this year's draft, and while he does need to improve some things, primarily his tackling, he could really turn into a dominant cornerback with the Oakland Raiders. So that was part 3 of my 2019 NFL mock draft. Once again, if you haven't seen parts 1 or 2, the links for those will be down in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed, comment your thoughts, and consider subscribing if you're new. This has been VyPr Sports, and I will see you in the next video.